I'm Colton
and welcome to the TNN Nightly News. Today is April 21st, 1865.
It has been a week since our late President Lincoln has been assassinated.
We'll do a brief overview about Lincoln.
Lincoln was born in Kentucky. He attended school for only a year, but he managed to serve in the Illinois legislature. Soon after, he married Mary Todd, and they had 4 sons. He went back to politics not soon after.
He was elected President of the United States after many failures in his life. He made it clear that he was an abolitionist, but nonetheless, he tried to reassure the slaveholders in the states of America. Soon, war broke out between the Union and the Confederacy. In the end, the Union won and slaves were set free. Not long after, President Lincoln was assassinated by John W. Booth.
Here are some fun facts about Abraham Lincoln. He was the 16th president in office from March 4th, 1860 to April 15th, 1865. He was born on February 12th in 1809 in Hodgenville, Kentucky, and he died at the age of 56 on April 15th, 1865, after being shot. He was buried in Lincoln's tomb in Oak Ridge Cemetery in Springfield, Illinois. His children were Robert Todd Lincoln, Edward Baker Lincoln, Willie Lincoln, and Tad Lincoln. He was a lawyer and a politician.
He served for 3 months in the Illinois militia, was a captain, and was later discharged and then re-enlisted as a private. He participated in the Black Hawk War.
There were an abundance of spies in the war, such as Mary Bowser, who was born in 1839. She was an American freed slave who worked in Elizabeth Van Lew as a spy.
Her original owner was a wealthy hardware merchant, and when he died in 1843, she was freed. Elizabeth Van Lew sent her to the Quaker School for Negroes in Philadelphia. When she left, she married William Bowser on April 16, 1861, only 4 days after Fort Sumter. Van Lew's altered persona made her seem unbalanced and crazy, which allowed her to secretly set up Bowser. Alas, Ellen Bond as a spy. Her photographic memory helped her spy when she worked for Jefferson Davis, the Confederate president.
When a co-worker, Thomas McNiven, was found to be a spy, suspicion fell on Bowser. Her final mission was failed to burn the Confederate White House. She survived, and after the war became a teacher for the slaves.
Another important spy was Henry Thomas Harrison.
Born in Nashville in 1832, he became a Confederate soldier in the 12th Mississippi Infantry in 1861. He was discharged the same year in 1863, and he became a spy for James Longstreet, insisting on being paid in gold for tips. He was later captured by Union soldiers in New Bern, North Carolina. Pause it, stop it. He was released in May on insufficient evidence. Then he gave away Union forces in Frederick, Maryland, and the name of the new commander of the forces. This influenced the outcome of the Battle of Gettysburg. Now we move on to an important leader in the war. Born in Nashville in 1832, he became a Confederate soldier in the 12th Mississippi Infantry in 1861. He was discharged the same year in 1863. He became a spy for James Longstreet, insisting on being paid in gold. He was later captured by Union soldiers in New Bern, North Carolina. He was released in mid-April on insufficient evidence. Then he gave away Union forces in Frederick, Maryland, in the name of the new commander of the forces. This influenced the outcome of the Battle of Gettysburg. Now we move on to a very important general, Ulysses S. Grant.
He was born on April 27, 1822, and died July 23, 1885. He was the 18th President of the United States in 1865. He was the commanding general of the Union who led them to victory. He implemented congressional reconstruction and attempted to defeat the Ku Klux Klan.
Jefferson finished famous. The first and only president of the Confederate States of America was a planter, politician, and soldier born in Kentucky and raised in Mississippi.
He met his future wife, Julia Dent, in St. Louis, Missouri, and later married her and had 4 kids before leaving again to be stationed at Fort Vancouver. In the Civil War, he led the army to victory in the Battle of Shiloh, seized Vicksburg, trapped Lee's army at Petersburg, Virginia, and later forced him to surrender at Appomattox.
After the war, there were laws passed in the South known as the Black Codes. They were set shortly after the war to restrict African Americans' freedoms and made them work in labor economy with low wages and debt, essentially making them slaves again. They forced white supremacy and worked sneakily around the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment.
Many Texans served in the Civil War, such as the members of Terry's Texas Rangers, who served as the frontier cavalrymen, before later becoming peacekeepers. Walker's Greyhounds were the Texan 33rd Cavalry Regiment, led by Colonel Santos Benavides.
The Texas Brigade, also known as Hood's Brigade, was a brigade augmented by the 18th Georgia Infantry. They were often called shock troops. Finally, there were many Civil War leaders among them: Governor Francis Lubbock, Lieutenant General John Bell Hood, and Major General Lawrence Sullivan Ross.
That was a clip that our cameras caught on tape. That was men getting ready for the Gettysburg fight. We honor all of the soldiers that have died defending our home territory.
We also would like to update you about all the latest technology. There are many new weapons that both the North and South have used. The mini ball is a bullet that is deadly upon contact. We also have been notified that hot air balloons are used in North. The South also had a few tricks up their sleeve. The South has built a warship out of steel and iron. The North and South have been using the railroad. The North's railroad is much longer and is government controlled. The South railroad system, although, is smaller and is private. We have seen glimpses of this anaconda planet that the North is using.
The telegraph is also a new technology that the North have gotten their hands on. Abraham Lincoln was the first president who was able to communicate on the spot with his officers in the battlefield. The White House Telegraph Office enabled him to monitor battlefield reports, lead real-time strategy meetings, and deliver orders to his men. Here as well, the Confederate Army was at a disadvantage. They lacked the telegraphical and industrial ability to conduct such a communication campaign.
In a world where one man stands above the rest, one man who is against slavery,
Hurry up and don't die. That works.
led to war to go against slavery, got elected, and was murdered and is now dead. Coming soon to all the theaters around you.
Liz and Colton have gone out for lunch.
Yes, sorry. That was a preview of the upcoming movie, The 16th President.
The movie follows the presidency of our late President Abraham Lincoln, as well as some of his earlier important events, keeping you on the edge of your seat for the entire 6 hours.
Ignore that last little bit. The director has summed up the work of this movie into 1 hour. Don't worry. Make your time to come out and watch it.
Don't worry. Well, we have run out of time today, but join us next time on
the
TNN Nightly News.